She wasn't my soulmate, she was my lesson. I met her on a Tuesday. Funny how I remember the day of the week so vividly, like it's been seared into my memory. I was late for a meeting, juggling a coffee, a laptop bag, and a half-broken umbrella when she bumped into me just outside the station. Her voice was apologetic, her eyes curious. And then just like that, she was gone. But fate has a way of looping back. 3 days later, we matched on a dating app. Her name was Emily. Blonde, smart, witty, and with a smile that looked like it had been designed in a lab for maximum effect. Our first date was the kind you tell your friends about, the kind that makes you believe in timing, signs, and everything in between. By the end of the night, we'd already kissed. By the third date, I was hooked. She laughed at my worst jokes. She cried watching old Disney movies. She made me feel like I was someone worth loving. And for a while, I believed it. We moved in together after 8 months. Too fast? Maybe. But it felt right. I was 29, she was 27, and we both wanted the same things: family, dogs, a place near the coast. She even started calling our future dog by name, Oliver. "Ollie," she'd say, smiling into her wine glass, "we'll sleep at the foot of our bed." Life was golden. Until it wasn't. It started with her phone. She used to leave it anywhere: kitchen counters, bathroom sinks, the couch cushions. But then one day it was always face down, locked, buzzing silently in the middle of the night. "Just work," she said when I asked. She was in marketing and I knew she had late deadlines. But still, something changed. Her laugh felt forced. Her touch colder. She'd come home smelling like someone else's cologne, faint but different. I told myself I was being paranoid. I wasn't. One night, I came home early from work. A small miracle: a canceled client call and no traffic. I had this idea to surprise her. I picked up her favorite Thai food, that weird jasmine soda she liked, and even grabbed a bouquet of peonies from the corner florist. When I opened the apartment door, I was smiling. But she wasn't home. No shoes by the door. No purse on the counter. Just silence, the kind that hums in your ears when you know something's wrong, even if you can't prove it yet. So I waited and waited. She came home at 11:47 p.m. Hair messy, lipstick faded, eyes wide like she'd seen a ghost or become one. "Work ran late," she said, slipping past me without a kiss. We had a campaign launch. There was no mention of the flowers. No excitement over the surprise dinner. Just a shower. And silence. That night, I lay next to her in bed and stared at the ceiling, wondering who she was texting in the bathroom with the water running. I didn't want to become the guy who checked phones. I always hated that idea. Snooping, spying. If you have to do that, it's already broken, right? But one evening, when she left her laptop open while she was in the shower, something flickered in me, a moment of weakness. Or strength. Depends how you look at it. The messages were there. Facebook Messenger. A thread labeled Jack Work. But Jack wasn't just work. Jack wrote things like, "I miss how you taste. Last night was too good. I'm addicted." Does he suspect anything? I read everything. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely scroll. She had screenshotted our weekend brunch selfie and sent it to him with the caption, "Look how clueless he is." I didn't cry. I thought I would. But I didn't. My chest went numb, like someone had flipped a switch and disconnected me from my own body. I closed the laptop, stood up, and left the apartment. No note. No text. Just silence. I sat in my car for 3 hours that night, parked in a gas station lot, watching strangers come and go. I kept replaying it in my head like some kind of twisted movie trailer. Her laugh. Her eyes. The smell of her hair. That night she cried in my arms after her dad died. Was it all fake? Or did something real just rot? I didn't know what to do. Should I confront her? Smash something? But I did none of that. I went back. At 3:12 a.m. She was asleep. Or pretending to be. I lay beside her and stared at the back of her head, wondering how someone you know so well can suddenly feel like a stranger. I waited a week before saying anything. Some might call that cowardice, but I needed time, to think, to breathe, to decide what kind of ending I wanted. I didn't want a shouting match. I didn't want to give her the satisfaction of seeing me broken. So I watched. I watched how she lied, effortlessly, like it was part of her morning routine. Long day at the office. Team dinner ran late. Jack's just a friend. Every time she spoke, it was like watching someone else wear her skin. Finally, on a quiet Sunday morning, I made us coffee, sat at the table, and slid the laptop toward her. Open. Messenger screen pulled up. She didn't even flinch. She looked at the screen, then looked at me. No gasp. No panic. Just stillness. "Okay," she said. So now you know. I was speechless. No apology. No begging. No remorse. I didn't plan it, she continued. It just happened. I took a deep breath. How long? She looked away. 4 months. That stung. 4 months of lies. Of holding my hand with one and texting him with the other. Why? I asked. Her answer? I don't know. You're good. Too good maybe. And I guess I got bored. Bored. That word rang in my ears like a siren. I had loved her deeply, faithfully, wholeheartedly, and she got bored. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't throw anything. I just stood up, walked to the bedroom, packed a bag, and left. She didn't stop me. The following days were hollow. I moved into a friend's spare room. Went to work. Ate when I remembered. Slept like a ghost, not fully gone but not really there either. Friends told me I dodged a bullet. But it didn't feel like that. It felt like someone had hit pause on my life. Like I was stuck between chapters, unsure whether to reread or rip the page out completely. She texted once. I'm sorry it ended like this. I didn't reply. Not because I didn't have words, but because nothing I could say would matter. She'd made her choice. She chose him. She chose excitement over loyalty, temporary thrill over lasting love. Weeks passed. Then months. One night I saw her again. At a bar. She was with someone, not Jack. Someone new. She didn't see me. And that was the moment I knew I didn't love her anymore. I didn't want revenge. I didn't want closure. I just wanted peace. After Emily, I didn't date for a long time. Not because I was bitter. Not even because I was scared. I just needed to remember who I was without her, without the version of myself I had built around our relationship. You know how sometimes you forget what silence sounds like until you're finally alone? That's what it felt like. There was no more we, just me. And that scared the hell out of me. I started small. I changed my phone wallpaper. I deleted our photos. I unsubscribed from that stupid wine delivery service she loved. And I started running again, something I hadn't done in years. There was something therapeutic about the rhythm of it. Left foot, right foot, lungs burning, heart pounding, as if I could sweat the pain out mile by mile. And slowly, I came back. Not all at once, but in pieces. I started therapy too. It's not something I ever thought I'd do. I grew up in one of those man up and get over it households, but talking helped. A lot more than I expected. My therapist said something that stuck with me. What she did says everything about her. How you respond says everything about you. That flipped a switch. Because I had spent weeks asking myself, what was wrong with me? Why wasn't I enough? Was I boring? Too predictable? Not passionate enough? But those were the wrong questions. The right question was, why did I think someone's betrayal defined my worth? It didn't. She didn't cheat because I lacked something. She cheated because she lacked something: honesty, discipline, empathy. And that wasn't mine to carry. 3 months later, I started dating again. It was awkward at first. I was overanalyzing everything, every laugh, every text delay, every time someone looked at their phone during dinner. But eventually, I met someone who made it all feel normal again. Her name was Claire. No fireworks. No grand movie scene. Just two people sitting in a bookstore cafe, talking about David Bowie and why pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. She was funny, grounded, and honest in a way that made me feel safe, like I didn't have to compete with ghosts anymore. We took it slow. There were no rushed I love yous, no dramatic sleepovers. Just consistent presence. She showed up. Every time. And slowly I began to believe in love again. Not the kind that sweeps you off your feet, but the kind that holds your hand while you put yourself back together. One evening, nearly a year after it all ended, I got a message from Emily. It was late, 11:18 p.m. to be exact. I remember because I almost didn't check my phone. But something told me to look. Hey, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, but I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Like truly sorry. You didn't deserve what I did to you. I stared at the screen for a long time. I wasn't angry. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't even surprised. I was just done. A year ago, that message would have shattered me. Now, it just felt like an echo from a past life. I thought about ignoring it. Then I thought about writing a long, emotional response, something wise and forgiving. But I didn't do either. I typed 2 words, take care. And I meant it. Not in a sarcastic way. Not in a passive-aggressive way. Just genuinely, take care. Because whatever road she's on, it's not mine anymore. Claire asked me about the message later. I told her the truth. She didn't get jealous. She didn't get defensive. She just smiled and said, "You're free now." And that's when I realized I really was. Healing doesn't look like fireworks. Sometimes it looks like quiet mornings and slow walks and knowing that someone, somewhere, made you better by breaking you. Emily wasn't my soulmate. She was my lesson. She taught me what love isn't, what trust shouldn't feel like, what happens when you give everything to someone who doesn't know what to do with it. And Claire? She isn't my rebound. She's the first chapter of the version of me I fought hard to become. Last weekend, I stood at the edge of a lake with Claire, watching the sun melt into the water. She wrapped her arms around mine and leaned into my shoulder. No words, no drama, no need to fill the silence. And I realized I was no longer waiting for the other shoe to drop. I wasn't holding my breath, bracing for disappointment. I wasn't looking over my shoulder, wondering if history would repeat itself. I was present, alive, safe. It hit me right then, healing doesn't always look like fireworks. Sometimes it's just quiet peace. I used to think love was supposed to be chaotic, passionate, all-consuming, like the movies. But now I know that real love doesn't burn you alive. It warms you slowly. It gives more than it takes. Emily taught me that by failing me. Claire taught me that by simply being. A few months ago I ran into Jack. Yes, that Jack. It was at a networking event. He was thinner than I remembered, slightly older, hair starting to gray. He recognized me instantly. There was this awkward pause, that kind of silence where you both know there's too much history to pretend otherwise. He extended his hand. I didn't expect to see you here. Life's funny like that, I said. He nodded. Listen, man. I know I was out of line. I didn't mean for it to go the way it did. I looked him in the eye and said, it went exactly the way it was supposed to. Then I walked away. Because closure isn't something you ask for, it's something you decide. I don't hate Emily. I don't hate Jack. I don't even hate the version of me that stayed too long, believed too much, forgave too fast. That version of me was necessary. He led me here. Sometimes love ends. Not with betrayal. Not with screaming. But with understanding. Understanding that it wasn't love at all, it was attachment. Fantasy. The need to be seen by someone who didn't even see herself clearly. And that's okay. Because now I see myself. Fully. Finally. I used to think betrayal ruined me. But the truth is, it revealed me. It tore away the parts of me that begged to be chosen and forced me to choose myself. So, to the one who lied, who cheated, who taught me how it feels to be broken, thank you. You weren't my soulmate. You were my lesson. And because of you, I finally found peace.